start in history. 25 years of Saint football. This is the best they've ever done. The crowd's into it, and the Saints, obviously, as the players were introduced, very, very much on the upside. John Madden, Pat Summerall here. And John, you look at the Chicago Bears as they prepare to kick off. What do you think legitimately their chances are without perhaps number 35?
Well, I think they need Neil Anderson, and the fact that he's dressed there, he's not going to start, but he looks like a guy who at least he thinks he's going to play, or he wouldn't put all those pads on. I think the Bears have to get a little running, and then they have to be able to play, pass, and throw the ball.
On the other side of the field, the injury to their quarterback, Bobby Hebert, number 3.
He says that you know, his arm, his shoulder, it's a deltoid muscle in his shoulder. He said it still hurts him. You can tell he doesn't even lift that right arm. He says, but he can play through pain as long as he has strength. He says his strength is good, but I know that he's worried about, and you wonder what's going to happen the first time he takes a hit. Bobby Hebert will start, but how long will he be able to stay in the game?
What about these Saints, John? People talk about the unbeaten record, the best start ever, everything we just said. Are they that good?
I think so. I think they're that good because they know how to play the game, and they play the game very sound and very well.
Kevin Butler will kick it off in the direction of Quinn Early and Gene Atkin. That is Atkin. And he hurls out to about the 20, a fumble, and the Bears have it. Let's see if he was down or not. Maurice Douglas made the hit that caused it, and Johnny Bailey made the recovery.
Ball carrier has been ruled down by contact. First down, New Orleans.
He was down by contact.
I'll tell you, that's a break for the Saints. Mike Ditka was just saying last night, we have to get turnovers to beat these guys, and it looked like he had one.
Bobby Hebert will open at quarterback, bad shoulder and all. And they get going in a hurry. Let's check the rest of the lineups in just a minute. And Jordan are the running backs. Jordan was the man in motion. Hebert incomplete. Intended for Eric Martin. Here's that kickoff, John.
Well, as Mo Douglas comes in and make the hit, and what the official said that he was down by contact before the ball came out. Looked like the contact hit him, and then the ball came out as he hit the ground.
2nd and 10. Saints at their own 19. They haven't turned it over much. That's been one of the secrets to their success. Martin split wide to the right. Reverse coming to Early. And the Bears are there early. Here's the offensive line in front of Bobby Hebert. Cooper, Dombrowski, Hilgenberg, Port, Stan, Brock, and Hobie Brenner, the tight end. Finnerty and Buford Jordan start at the running backs. Eric Martin and Quinn Early are the wide receivers, but there will be a lot of changes. 3rd and 6. Hebert out of the shotgun formation this time. Back with him is Dalvin Hilliard. Hebert complete, but not enough for a first down. Early made the reception. Mangum made the stop.
You know, one thing about Hebert, he is not going to hold the ball. He is going to get rid of the ball before the rush gets there. That time he had to get rid of it so quickly he couldn't get a first down. Good Bear defense.
Excellent. Johnny Bailey back deep for the Bears. Barnhart to punt it for the Saints. Good kick. Chases Bailey all the way back inside his own 20. He is quick. He needs to be quicker. 54-yard punt by Barnard. John Tice made the stop. Jim Harbaugh, quarterback for the Bears. Good runner. Certainly a more than adequate, accurate passer. The offensive line in front. Wojciechowski opens at left tackle. Bortz, Hilgenberg, Thayer, Van Horn, James Thornton, the tight end. Mark Green and Brad Muster, the runners. Wendell Davis and Tom Waddle starting at wide receiver. Green is the running back with Muster. It's loud here. Harbaugh on first down. Incomplete. Wendell Davis, the intended receiver. The Saint defense has become almost notorious. Martin, Wilkes, Warren up front. And perhaps the best set of linebackers in professional football. Jackson, Mills, Williams, and Swilling. Secondary, everyone says that's their main source of improvement. Buck and Cook on the corners, 2nd and 10. Morgan and Davis wide to the right for the Bears. Morgan in motion. Handoff is to Green, who's hit right at the line of scrimmage by Sam Mills. They're all Pro Bowlers, all those linebackers.
You just said it, Pat, and that's the strength of this defense. And if you are going to run the ball, one of those guys is going to make the tackle. Sam Mills doesn't make it. It's going to be Pat Swilling, Ricky Jackson, or James Williams. Watch how they flow and pursue, and look at all those black jerseys around the football. The New Orleans Saints play perfect defense, always swarm the football.
That certainly is one of the keys to their success and their great start. 3rd and 10. Davis was the move man. Harbaugh out of the shotgun, flag on the play, and Harbaugh's down by Frank Warren. They all say what an addition he's been as he's come back to this New Orleans defense. Dick Hantak.
Offense, number 78, 5-yard penalty.
No play.
Prior to the snap, still
Well,
third
that's
down.
Keith Van Horn right here. You see, it's really tough. They're going on a silent count. He has to watch in here in the ball, but he has to block out here. That is very difficult. See, his head is looking into the ball. He's trying to watch the ball snap, but he feels the movement of Ricky Jackson. He moves on Jackson's movement, and of course, they always call the offensive guy. That's what the crowd does here in this stadium.
And that's what one of the handicaps of that silent count that they're using. 3rd and 15. Hilgenberg, who normally doesn't look at Harbaugh, has to look now to find out when he's ready. And that takes it away from him. Here's Harbaugh. Deep for Waddle. Vince Buck, who's done a heck of a job. That's why those linebackers have become so effective, because of the improved play of the cornerback.
And I think the improved play of the one cornerback, the guy they're talking about, is this guy right here, number 26, Vince Buck. They say he has added more than anyone else.
No score. Pat Summerall, John Madden, Superdome, New Orleans. Here's the Bear defense. Ryan in place of Armstrong at defensive left end. McMichael, Perry and Dent, Roper, Singletary and Morrissey, the linebackers. Secondary, Wolford, Stenson, Carrier, and Sean Gale. That's pretty much the way it is right now. The linebackers do swap sides. Finnerty is the lone setback. Floyd Kenner is the man in motion, and Richard Dent takes down Hebert. Feels his shoulder.
And that's the first test. I think, you know, Hebert could test the throw all week, but you can't test this. Richard Dent coming from the top of the screen. He just runs right by his guy, Richard Cooper. They, you know, Mike Mike Ditka was saying last night, he said, I don't know if this means anything. He said, but Richard Dent had the best week of practice this week that he's had all year. He said, I expect a big game from him.
And he said the last time he played here was the MVP. That would have been in the Super Bowl. There, draw play. Kennedy. Ryan made the stop. A gain of 2. The Saints are in the hole.
I think that that hit by Richard Dent, who is still one of the best pass rushers in all of football when you talk about defensive linemen. And I think that hit bothered Bobby Hebert a little more than he's trying to show right now.
3rd and 17. Saints backed up their own 13-yard line from the shotgun. Hebert again forced out by Dent. Pass is caught about the 25. Not enough for a first down, but Hebert got hit again. Floyd Turner made the reception.
Well, this time it's going to be by Steve McMichael. Watch number 76. He runs a stunt. He's right in the middle there. See Dent flush him out. Dent starts to the inside, flushes him out. McMichael comes up the field to the outside and hits him. Hey, you see that hit? He put the helmet right on Hebert's shoulder.
Barnard back to punt again. Said in the beginning, the Saints are fired up. So are the Bears. Another good kick by Barnard. Bailey fields it at the 28. And down in a hurry. The Saints. James Williams there. Flag on the play. It's going to be against the Bears, it appears.
It's going to be against the Bears, but it's going to be after the change of possession, so they'll be able to keep the ball. If that holding were before the punt, then the Saints, of course, would get an automatic first down.
We have holding by the receiving team. Prior to possession was gained after the kick. We will penalize 10 yards from the spot of the possession change. It will be first down, Chicago.
Don't give us 10 years. I can stand the 10 yards, but 10 years, that's too long. Nothing. Minnesota, Neil Anderson in for the Bears, starting. You had it right. You dress him, he's going to play. This is Muster at the line of scrimmage. Nothing. Wayne Martin made the stop.
You know, Neil Anderson is a great running back, and one of the reasons that makes him a great running back is he's a great competitor. And a great competitor, even though he knows it's wrong, just has a hard time staying out of a football game. If there's a game going on, a competitor feels he ought to be in there. Sometimes he shouldn't, but he doesn't know that.
It's hard to tape the heart. Second down. Saints show blitz. Here's Anderson. First down, Bears right now for an NFL update. Let's send you back to New York.
All right, Pat, at Philadelphia, you saw Steve Young throwing hot last week. He's still doing it today. 21 yards to John Taylor with the extra point. The Niners lead the Eagles 7-0 in the first quarter, Pat.
49ers appear to be back on track.
There's that counter. Remember the Redskins made it so famous, that counter tray. Well, this is the Bears version of it. They're going to run that play all day, and if you have Neil Anderson in there, he's going to make them hold.
First down, Bears their own 34. Mark Green now in the backfield in place of Anderson. Harbaugh back to throw, flush from the pocket, pass incomplete, intended for Thornton. Swilling was close. These Saints put some heat on you, don't they?
Well, you know what they do? They know that on first and second down, on running downs, they know that the Bears are going to try and play pass. So the Saints figure that they can rush the play pass and react to the run on 1st and 2nd down. Then on 3rd down, then they just go into a pass rush mode.
Interesting what Jim Mora, the Saints coach, said yesterday. The one thing we worked on in training camp was rushing the passer, putting the heat on the quarterback, and they've really done it.
They said they were getting too much where they were playing up and down the line of scrimmage and not penetrating enough.
Here's Harbaugh again, chased out of the pocket, and down he goes. Wilkes, the nose tackle for a loss of 11.
You know what the Saints do, Pat? They bring those outside guys. They bring Jackson and Swilling from the outside, and then they get a lot of flushing. You see the pressure coming from up top? Right there. Now that flushes the quarterback. Then, when he goes to step up and can't find anyone open, then the inside guys like Wilkes will get the sacks. But I think that was a perfect sack. You saw Harbaugh looking downfield. He had some time. He just couldn't find anyone.
He did have some time. Now he's in the shotgun.
This is tough. This is where they go to silent snap count.
Hilgenberg has to look back.
Harbaugh is asking the officials. See, he raises his hand. He's saying now that he has control. See, when he pushes up there, he's taking control. The clock isn't running now. Now he's pointing to the quarterback and telling him to make the play go.
Everybody you ask says that the noise is not a factor. But tell me this is not a factor.
The noise is a factor, especially when you get on 3rd down and especially when you're trying to go shotgun. I think that's the thing that's going to do away with the shotgun is having to play on the road, the shotgun and the no huddle.
Dick Hantak.
We have asked the defense for assistance in continuing play. We'd appreciate your
Remember that Lewis rule. They ask the defense to help. The first thing, if he does anything, the first thing he takes away is a New Orleans Saints timeout. He didn't know how to ask the guy.
He said condolences.
He looks like he's just going to get in that squat back there. You see him back here? He looks like he doesn't know what he wants to do, but he doesn't want to be any part of this.
Tom Thayer now up looking around, saying he can't hear. He's right next to the center and right in front of Harbaugh.
At some point, they may make him just go up to the center and take the ball on a regular snap.
You come to a football game, you go to an athletic event. If you want to make noise, you ought to be able to make noise.
Yeah, but then you come to it, and it's indoors. It stays indoors. That's a tough thing. Although Denver is an outdoor stadium, and that's difficult. So is RFK. Hantak is telling him get up on the line of scrimmage. Now, the thing that would help is if Harbaugh got up on the line of scrimmage. But he doesn't look like he's going to do that. And I don't know that the referee can make him or
no, he can't. He can't. At this rate, we might be here till the cold front comes through.
Now he's giving him a warning. Now he's taking control here.
Been 2.5 minutes.
Requested that the defense assist us in getting a playoff. If there is one more crowd noise situation where we cannot get a snap, we will take a timeout away from the defensive team.
I think the more the referee talks, the more the crowd wants to be part of it. I think the Bears ought to just get this snap off. Go to their silent count that they've been working on and get the ball snapped, and then it'll all be over.
Here we go. Anderson 35 to the 36. Not enough for a first down. A gain of 13. Stopped by Mills and Maxey. But the Bears will have to punt.
I'll tell you, watch number 73, though, John Wojciechowski, number 73, right up front. He makes a heck of a block. Watch it, boom, right there. He knocks his guy down. He tries to run over, too. That's the way a tackle should block.
Maury Buford back to punt. Vince Buck back deep for the Saints. Another good punt. Buck lets it go, and it takes a Saints bounce into the end zone. They'll start from the 20. 64-yard kick. No score with 6:10 left in the first. 0-0. The Bears and the Saints. And here the Saints' success, well emphasized by these statistics. They have outscored their opponents 34-0 in the first quarter. So obviously they haven't been behind. That's just one of the keys. There are a lot more. Hebert back to throw it. Again flushed out of the pocket. This time by the pass complete. Hobie Brenner. But again, Hebert down.
I think the Bears are really going after Hebert, and I think what they're doing is going after that shoulder, just saying every time he goes back to pass, we're going to knock him down. But it just seems like, and maybe it's just because it's that right shoulder, but it seems like every hit, they're putting that helmet right on that right shoulder. That's the trouble when you get too much into papers about your injury and what it is and where it is. Those defensive guys could smell that injury.
All of a sudden it becomes a target. 1st and 10. Hebert. Infinity. A gain of 4, and right now for another NFL update. Back to New York, and here's Greg Gumbel.
All right, Pat, at Atlanta, Chris Miller's had an up-and-down season so far, but he's up today. 19 yards, Floyd Dixon on the receiving end. And with the extra point, the Falcons lead the Rams 7-0 in the first. Pat?
2nd and 6, no score, first quarter. Bears and the Saints. Saints at their own 35. Blitz coming from the Bears. Saints read it. Floyd Turner is off to the races and gone. Touchdown, New Orleans.
Read the blitz. They saw Singletary take that middle, and they hit the area that he vacated.
Anderson with Barnard holding 7-0. The Saints again break on top with 4:33 left in the first.
You're watching CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League.
Watch what happens here. Here's the blitz. Here's Mike Singletary. When he comes on a blitz, what that does is vacate this area here. Turner comes into this area, catches the ball here, and takes it all the way for the touchdown. See, that's the old saying, if you live by the blitz, you die by the blitz. Here, when you get it and you can get it off, you can get big plays against it.
Anderson's kickoff. 3 yards deep into the end zone. Bailey brings it out. Almost broke it. There's a new refrain here in the Superdome replacing Who Dat. All started with a local commercial, and it spread all over town.
That'll be 1 double cheeseburger, ching. Large fries and a large soda, ching. 2 kids meals and 2 medium sodas, ching. Ching. Lego now with ching, bada bing, and
cha-ching, bada bing, like that.
bada bing.
And all I have to say is ching, ching.
Anticipating cha-ching and 8-0.
I'll tell you, Floyd Turner just gave him a big cha-ching.
Didn't he?
They were all
And
cha-ching.
again, Harbaugh says he can't hear. Out from under the center.
Timeout. Chicago, their first timeout. This is a 40-second timeout.
Timeout.
This is a 40-second
Bear.
timeout.
Well, we have this timeout. Watch Bobby Hebert here. He's looking one way and throwing the other. Look, he's looking out there to his left. See, he's looking to his left, and then he's going to stop and just throw it right there in the middle. But you know what he was looking for? His eyes were looking one place, but he saw he didn't have a lane in the middle. And a good quarterback has to not only find an open man, but he has to find a throwing lane. Where his eyes were looking, he didn't have the throwing lane. The throwing lane was to the right of where his eyes were looking, if any of that makes sense.
Well, yeah, his eyes were looking. That makes sense.
Well, his eyes were looking to the left. He didn't throw where he was looking because he didn't have a passing lane to throw where he was looking.
7-0 the Saints over the Bears. 1st and 10 Chicago at their own 26. Harbaugh with the fake. Pass complete. Incomplete. Right now for another NFL update, let's send you back to Greg Gumbel in New York.
Well, Pat and John, the Eagles say welcome back Jim McMahon. Second play of the second quarter, 19 yards to Keith Byers out of the backfield. And the Eagles and the 49ers are tied at 7. Pat?
One of the Hilgenberg brothers. Centers on opposite teams. They learn from each other. Harbaugh has yet to complete a pass. Mark Green got perhaps 4. Stopped by Reggie Jones.
One thing that the Bears want to do, and they think that too many teams come in and they play the Saints, and the Saints have a good defense, and they get away from their running game. And they usually do that when they get behind. And that's what Mike Ditka says. He says, I don't care what. We're not going to give up on a running game. We're not going to make them make us play one-dimensional football.
Harbaugh with the heat on. Can't get rid of it. Sam Mill and Swilling.
What they're saying is his arm was going forward. Is it a fumble or is it an incomplete pass? See, his arm was going forward. But I think it was good coverage because he had to get rid of the ball. Watch Swilling. He's taking an inside move there on Wojciechowski. He just jumps up in the air. I think Harbaugh saw that and said, I can't throw it downfield. I'll just throw it right into the carpet and we'll punt.
Laurie Buford's first punt was 64 yards. It's Buck again back deep for the Saints. They were coming after it. Buck to about the 42. Morris Douglas, David Tate took him down.
Yeah, if we watch the coverage here, we're going to see that the Saints have 6 defensive backs in there. Now, right now, if we look, see, Harbaugh's here. He's ready to throw. But watch the coverage. No one is open. He has no one to throw to, and he has Swilling coming in here. So part of it is swilling the sack. The other part of it is good coverage by the dime package or 6 defensive backs of the Saints.
1st and 10, Saints, their own 42. Hebert to Finity. Not much. Donnell Wolford up to make the initial contact.
The defense down there. See, they get the Polaroid pictures down there, and then they show the defense on the sideline, what formations and what plays the offense is running. They say a picture's worth a thousand words, but if you're a big old defensive lineman, all you want to do is get some air and maybe a drink or something. You don't want to hear some coach telling you about a formation.
Or showing you pictures.
You just get down there and grunt for the other guy.
Hebert outside to Martin. The Bears are there in a hurry. Loss of 2. Mule Stinson made the stop.
Mule Stinson got up there. That was a screen passer trying to get out there to Eric Martin. Lemuel Stinson didn't give that one a chance. He saw that play and went right after it.
That's what happened to the pictures.
It was a punt play. You see that? The special team, they don't even care. They just throw it in the ground and guys walk on it. Look at it. See, it says punt on there. They don't even care about the special team. That's what I said. Offense, defense, cha-ching. They don't give the punt team any cha-chings.
3rd and 11. Hilliard is back with Hebert. Trying to figure out what Bobby Hebert was pointing at.
Probably the ball.
Could be.
Please return the game clock to 10 seconds.
Talking going on down there between the linemen. You know, they have the toughest job, these 5 guys right there in the middle, because if they don't hear the quarterback and the snap count, then they get started late. And if they get started late, then these guys here just eat them up.
That's about the only advantage you have if you have that snap count. Here's Hebert down the middle, complete. Wesley Carroll, number 80.
Yeah, when Hebert gets hot, he can complete these types of passes as well as anyone. Why watch him step up here? Good pass protection. See, they give him a clean middle. They take that rush. That's a pocket. They take that rush, boom, push it to the outside, get the middle down in here, and then he can just step right up into the middle. That's what the pocket is.
1st down, Saints, the Bear 47, 2 tight ends. That's Finity. Not much doing, a gain of a yard. Wolford and Singletary, the first Bears there.
I'll tell you, in this game, it's hard to get any running game going. The Bears haven't got any running or passing. The Saints have gotten a little passing, but when they run, there's not much there. There's Jim Mora to his left is Carl Smith, who was their offensive coordinator, who's been with Jim Mora for years, all the way from the USFL.
That's Hilliard. He might have gotten a half yard or something like that, maybe none. McMichael and Roper.
Hey, you see McMichael there, he's upset because on that play before where Hebert stepped up, it was McMichael who got knocked down. And the reason Hebert could step up is because McMichael got knocked down.
That's the end of the first quarter with the score, the Saints 7, the Bears nothing.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by Toyota and their quality line of 1992 cars and trucks. Toyota, I love what you do for me. Hewlett-Packard LaserJet printers. They'll get you noticed. And by new Coors Cutter non-alcoholic brew.
Still no one has scored against the Saints this year in the first quarter. Excuse me, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say in the stats here, you can see that neither team has really been able to run the ball. But look at the difference in passing. The Saints have passed for 94 yards. The Bears just minus 11.
3rd and 9. Hebert back in the shotgun. Starts Martin in motion. One-handed catch, almost a first down. Mangum stopped Martin.
Yeah, Eric Martin is one of those guys that always catches a lot of footballs, and you'd never put him up there with the top guys. But when you look at the top guys, the name of Eric Martin is always there. And he makes catches like this. I mean, anything that is thrown to him, he can catch. I mean, he can catch it in front of him, behind him, down low, up high. And as he tells Bobby Hebert, he's always open. Hebert says anytime he comes in the huddle, he says, throw to me, I'm open. I don't care if I'm double covered. Just throw it to me, I'll get it. And that's the way he plays.
The troublesome thing about that is Hebert said to us yesterday that all the receivers come back and say they're open.
Oh, yeah, every receiver that's ever played the game is always open.
Well, they got to unwind the chain. They had a first down, and then they lost it.
Look at that. You're talking about it's 1991. Look at that chain.
It's a bad-looking chain.
Well, you'd think you'd get lasers or something, or plastic, or cha-chings or something.
What?
They got a short cha-ching in the chain.
They need another cha-chain.
Richard Dent was happy, though, because they are short. The Saints fans are happy now because the Saints are going to go for it.
That's got that cha-chain's got some tape on it.
Yeah, and the guys that
too late in tape.
And the guys that carry it off are the cha-ching gang.
That might be enough, don't you think?
Yeah, now they have to. How would you like to have to block the refrigerator? The guy that has to do that is Jim Dombrowski, and he says you have to get leverage on him. And I said, how in the heck do you get leverage on the refrigerator? He says, I don't know. He said, you just fight like heck.
You have to bring a big cart.
I bet they don't run at him.
They do. It's a mistake. If he made it, it's going to be close.
If he made it, he slipped a little to the right. You see the refrigerator on the left and the right. He runs right into his center. Now, this is going to be a thing where they spot the ball. Look at this big pile up there. How do you know where they spot the ball? And with a chain has an extra link in it, I think.
It's like a little burlap wrapped around the last link.
Oh, yeah, I'd use another chain to get that one. If I were the Saints, I'd have a good home chain. That doesn't look like a good home chain. But this is not offense or defense. This is just the spot.
Pieces of tape on that chain.
Like if I were Jim Moore, I'd get a new chain. But I don't think Bobby Hebert, if you look at that play again, I don't think he made any yards at all.
I think that chain was playing when I was. 7-0 Saints.
This game summary is sponsored by Bud Dry.
It has not obviously been a rushing game so far. The one turnover by the Bears. Anderson's carried twice for 27 yards. That's been the Bear offensive story. Hebert 7 out of 8. 111 yards, 65-yard touchdown pass to Turner. Muster and Anderson are the two running backs for the Bears. Anderson hit in the backfield and hit again and again. Ricky Jackson hit him first. Spun him around, and then he had a gang of friends arrive in a hurry.
Yeah, Ricky Jackson's in his 11th year, but he looks like one of these guys who just keeps getting younger. Watch him from the outside there. He gets that penetration. Now, that's tough for any runner when no one blocks you. When you come tough off a soft corner like Ricky Jackson did there, and you're unblocked, whoever that runner is, you're not going to make it back to the line of scrimmage.
I got a feeling you better account for both of those two guys on just about every play.
I wouldn't give them too many soft corners to try and run at them.
Anderson again. Not much. Couple. That Swilling led the defenders.
That's really the strength. The strength of this team is this defense, this whole group of guys. But within that strength, it's really this guy here and this guy here and this guy here. These three linebackers there, that's the strength. And then if you break it down again, it's those two bookend linebackers. Bobby Hebert, 7 out of 11. That's a heck of a start. Previously, he'd been throwing on the sideline the whole time to keep that shoulder loosened up.
3rd down and 12. Harbaugh tries to run a play pass, has to hurry. Pass incomplete. Intended for Thornton. He had no chance. Toy Cook on the ground for the Saints.
And look at both of those bookends, Pat. They're right there. There was Swilling, and look at the hit that Jackson put on Harbaugh.
That's Toy Cook.
This Saint defense just comes in and gets after you from the get-go.
They really do. 7-0, second quarter. Buford's punt. The buck lets it bounce. The Bears are down in good shape. At the 5. So the Saints will have a long way to go. 12:43 left before halftime. They lead 7-0. 7-0 Saints over the Bears. Second quarter. At Summerall at the Superdome with John Madden and William Perry. New Orleans' first 4 possessions. They punted twice. They got the touchdown pass from Hebert to Turner. And they didn't get the first down on 4th. Hebert out of the end zone, incomplete. Intended for the tight end, Brenner.
That's tough to throw when you don't block Richard Dent either. The first thing I think Hebert saw there was Dent, and somehow they had to have a fouled up blocking combination because they just really let Dent go. The back trying to pick him up. Watch it. Here's Dent right here. Now watch him. See, the line doesn't block him. I guess they were going to trap him, but they let him get too much penetration, and that was the first thing that Hebert saw.
He was too quick for the trap.
I think if you're going to pass the ball on play pass, you better block Dent on the line.
Hand off to Jordan. Picked up 4. Got a little bit of breathing room, but they're still backed up 90 yards away from touchdown territory.
Richard Dent is just waiting for one of those things where they have to get into a passing down. He would really like to put his ears back, tee off, and get a fumble here. And he's one of those guys who's capable of hitting the quarterback from behind and knocking the ball out. This is where the Bears can use that kind of play.
And here's the down. Hilliard back with Hebert. Incomplete. Hebert intended for Carroll, incomplete. They talk about this being a great place to kick. I think most of the time you have the place kickers in mind, but look at the punting comparison here.
Well, yeah, usually Buford is 38. Of course, that's punting in Chicago, Soldier Field stuff. Today, he's 53 yards average. Barnhart is usually 44. Today he's 50, so that's one thing. These guys have really been launching the ball here today.
Bailey standing back at midfield, 50 yards away from Barnhart's punt. Another good one. Back to the 42 is Bailey with room in the Saint territory at about the 40. A 48-yard punt that time. An 18-yard return. John Tice made the stop. At the Superdome in New Orleans, Pat Summerall, John Madden, the Bears, Saints. The Saints leading 7-0. Richard Dent.
Well, you know, I've always thought that he's one of the best pass rushers in the league. In 1991, this is how a defensive lineman arrives to work. Remember in the old days, black guys would just kind of wander in. Here you got the suit, you got the hat, you got the overcoat.
Got an escort.
Yeah, you got an escort. I like him better in this hat right here. That hat and that look, I like better than the other hat and the other look.
The other looked like negotiations were imminent. That's Mustard. Inside the 40 to about the 37, 36. Turnbull made the stop, but Mustard got 7.
Yeah, if the Bears can get a score here, then Mike Ditka's theory is really working out. And he said you just stay with the running game and you have patience. And it looks like he is staying with the running game. He does have patience. But while you're doing that, you may need a little Neil Anderson, but you do need some scoring.
2nd and 3. You don't get away from it. That's Mark Green. He didn't get the first down, but he's close to it. Mills and Turnbull made the stop. The offensive unit for the Saints.
It's always the center that looks mostly at the pictures. That's Joel Hilgenberg. And most centers have to make calls for adjustments on the line of scrimmage. That's why they look. The guards are just worried about the call. The tackles are just worried about not being offside. And the center's the guy that snaps the ball and makes those calls. You know, you get him. No, switch. You get him. You know, we go Trey, we go Odd, we go Jack, we go King.
They always have exotic names to call the blocking schemes. The only problem is everybody knows what they are. Here's Harbaugh. He's got some room. First down, Bears. Inside the 25, a pickup of 8, stopped by James Williams.
I think Harbaugh was thinking run all the time because he had Mark Green. That was a bootleg pass. But watch as he comes out here. He's going to bootleg out to his left. Watch 31. You see right there. He could have thrown the ball to Green. But I think he says the heck with it. I see a lot of green turf there, so I'm going to run. Green does a good job of turning from a pass receiver to a blocker.
That's the Bears' second first down. They're at the Saint 23. Mustard spins to about the 18. A pickup of 5, stopped by Turnbull again. So far, the Bears have not had much success on offense. Interception, and then 3 punts, and this is the first time they've been able to move it.
Well, they're getting a little running game going now, and I think they see that bootleg, they could pass it. Harbaugh has yet to complete a pass. So somewhere in the game, he's going to have to start completing passes. There's Bobby Hebert on the side, on the sideline, keeping that shoulder warm.
Waddle in motion. Harbaugh play pass. A lot of pressure. Flag on the play. Pass incomplete. Flag at about the 25-yard line.
Harbaugh has still not completed his first forward pass. That's tough in the NFL. When you play this long and you haven't completed a pass yet, you cannot make the game one-dimensional just running either.
Backup quarterback Peter Tom Willis. Dick Hantak.
Holding. Offense, number 63, 10-yard penalty. Repeat the down. Second down.
Well, that's Joel Hilgenberg's big brother, Jay Hilgenberg, the center that was called on that one. Watch it, number 63 right in the middle. He has a technique where he gets his hands underneath. See, he got that left hand on there, and they had to call that holding. I think that's a pretty good block. I don't think that's holding. You got to let that guy put his hands up there as long as they're in the frame work of the body. That's a bad call.
2nd and 15. Harbaugh draw play. That again is Mustard. Down back to about the 22. Stopped by Mills after a gain of 8.
Yeah, I don't think that was fair to Jay Hilgenberg there. And Jay Hilgenberg and Joel Hilgenberg, the two brothers, in that crowd there somewhere are their parents watching this game. That has to be tough for their parents, but I think that they're two of the best centers in football. With Jay Hilgenberg maybe being the best. He's the guy who always goes to the Pro Bowl. Joel, you see that? He was watching the scoreboard. He saw himself up there and turned his head. He won't look back. He doesn't want to see himself. No center wants to look at himself in a mirror or see himself on a scoreboard.
Harbaugh to throw it. First complete pass to Waddle. Not enough for a first down. A gain of 5. Reggie Jones made the stop. And here comes Kevin Butler. Butler 8 out of 11. 46 his longest. This one's 34. Butler's field goal is good, and the Bears get on the board 7-3. The Saints lead with 6:59 left to play in the first half. Don't forget tonight, Game 7, the Braves Twins. Pre-game show at 8 o'clock Eastern Time. The first pitch at 8:35. John Smoltz will open for Atlanta. Jack Morris for the Twins. Game 7 tonight.
Say it doesn't get any better than it was last night. I think when you can get it down and one team has to win to keep playing, the other team to win the World Series, and you go into extra innings, that was fun. Now there's the guy. We showed a picture of him coming to work. We showed a picture of him with his helmet. And there's the defensive lineman relaxing. Then he's going to try and talk an official out of something. He's lobbying for something there. He's trying to get a holding call, and sometimes you don't get it on the play. You get it when you do the talking now.
Or he could have been asking if he could get him a hat like that.
I don't think so. Knowing Richard Dent, he's trying to get something, but it's a holding call, or he wants him to call a penalty against New Orleans. Ditka's sure calmed down on the sideline
Really
over the years, hasn't he? I think he kind of slicked back that hair, and in bringing the hair back, that brought everything back.
Maybe he just gets there quicker.
And so he went from an uptight guy to kind of a laid-back guy, and just by combing the hair, maybe. He doesn't even chew the gum as hard and as fast as he used to.
Butler's kickoff early, and Atkins. That's Atkins. Right at the 20-yard line. James Rouse led the Bears special teams. 7-3 the score. The unbeaten Saints against the 5-2 Bears. Bears tied for the lead in the NFC Central with the Detroit Lions, and the Saints moving away from the NFC West.
Here's Keith Van Horn, number 78. He's still shaking his head. It's tough to pass protect in this league, but when you get to third down and you can't hear, it's darn near impossible.
Dalton Hilliard is the deep back with Buford Jordan in front of him. is going to be a fine football player.
I'll tell you, we are seeing some great defense here today. Watch your Fritz. When he gets going down that line, no matter whether you block him or push him or whatever, he is going to go right down the line, and you are not going to get a cutback. That's one thing about him. You can't run right at him, nor can you go away and cut back where he's coming from.
Not a lot of extra room in that helmet, is there?
He doesn't want any air in there at all.
Hilliard, the lone setback. Carroll, the man in motion. Hebert back to throw. Outside of Hilliard. Just a couple of yards. Morrissey was the first Bear. How long it took him to get dressed?
Yeah, how he decided, okay, today's the day I'm going to wear that. They got a lot of sayings here with the who dat and the ching chang and
the ain'ts.
Yeah, this guy here cannot be part of this game that's going on. I mean, he's something else. He works for the telephone company or something. I'll guarantee you. This guy is not part of the Bears nor the Saints.
It's got to be somebody's designated escort or something like that.
Nah, he's down there. He's an electrician or something. He sold him the phone system.
Hebert flushed out of the pocket again. Pass complete, not enough for a first. Pickup of 2. It's complete to Hilliard. Sean Gale right with it.
You know, Hebert's done that about 3 or 4 times today on third down. Completed a pass, but not enough for a first down.
You have to give the Bears some credit. Johnny Bailey back deep.
Mike Ditka thought this guy was going to do well today, Johnny Bailey. I think he felt that Johnny Bailey is a turf-tight player.
Bailey at the 35. Benny Thompson made the hit.
Did you see that hit?
Whoa, I heard it.
That was something. That'll open your sinuses up. Let's listen to that one.
It's still, you just can't imagine unless you're down there or have been there. I mean, that's an attempt by us at letting you know what it sounds like, but you still don't get the real impact.
No, and you realize that before that guy made that hit, he ran 50 yards, so that wasn't just taking a step and hitting. That was running 50 yards and picking up momentum, and that was the load that you brought.
First and 10 Bears. Harbaugh to throw, chased out of the pocket, nevertheless complete to Anderson. Anderson gets the Bear first down in Saint territory, a gain of 11. Toy Cook chased him out of bounds. You can see, although emotionally and heart-wise and whatever you want to say about Anderson, you can see he wants to play, he is playing, but he still, because of it, injured hamstring, can't quite pull the trigger like he used to.
No, and he's getting out of bounds. But, you know, the fun thing about Neil Anderson is just see the smile on his face when he's walking back to the huddle. That there's not a lot of guys play this game. A lot of guys say they love it, but this guy really does love it. He enjoys playing. He's having fun playing.
Harbaugh's pass to Davis, out of bounds. Cook, the defender.
You know, and Neil Anderson is, and Pat Swilling was talking about it. He said there's a lot of guys that are good runners, and he said there's backs that are good receivers, and there's not many of them that like to block. He said, but Neil Anderson is the most complete running back in the whole game. In fact, on that last play, I think he just blocked Pat Swilling.
He did.
But he will do it all. I mean, he will run it, and he'll go out and catch it, and he'll block, and he'll do it as well as anyone does any one of those 3 things.
They all say he just likes to come to work. That's rare. He's the lone setback. They stop by Wilkes. It'll bring up 3rd down.
There's the signal, Peter. Tom Willis gets the signals from Greg Landry, who's right there with the clipboard. Landry tells him, then Willis signals the play in. Then they tell Mike Ditka what the play is. He says if he would call him, he'd call a heck of a lot more runs.
3rd and 6. Harbaugh has to come out, and does for a Bear 1st down. Gene Atkins, but there is one of the secrets. They didn't get the push up the middle.
That's exactly it. If you just watch it here, you'll see that he has to step up. You see the pressure from the outside, Swilling and Jackson. Now he has to step up. And when he steps up there, he sees the hole. Then he sees enough hole to get a 1st down.
The Bears at the St. 38. Wilkes put the hands on Hilgenberg. Robert Goff. Pig Goff is the man who jumped. Number 91.
Yeah, and he goes by Pig Goff. He even signs Pig Goff.
Prior to the snap, defense, number 91, 5-yard penalty, still a 1st down.
But if you're going to go by Pig, and if you're going to sign your name as Pig, you may as well play nose tackle. The old Pig just got started a little soon. Look at Hilgenberg, still got the ball in his right hand, saying, hey, what's the deal? He can't hit me. See, now sometimes they'll go off the voice inflection of the quarterback. You see, and he'll hear that, so he's listening to that inflection, and he shouldn't listen to it. He should just watch the ball.
185 Hutt. Anderson left side, not much. 2-minute warning coming. So with 2 minutes to go, the 1st half. At the Superdome, 7-3 Saints over the Bears. The pitchers will be for Atlanta, John Smoltz, and for Minnesota, Jack Morris. 2nd down at the Superdome. They need 4 for a 1st. The Saints lead at 7-3. Anderson moves in motion. The heat comes again. Harbaugh in the direction of Muster, but he had no chance.
I'll tell you, watch Swilling from the top of the thing. See 56, no one blocks him. I mean, there's something wrong with the design here when you have a guy like Pat Swilling, who is one of the best pass rushers in the league, and you don't even have anyone on him. They had a tight end out there. The tight end releases, and no one blocks Swilling. Now, you can't blame the quarterback for that when he is rushed as quickly as Swilling is getting there.
3rd and 4. To Gentry, for a moment looked as if he might break it, but he didn't. Brett Maxey came up to make the stop.
Look at how that whole defense swarmed, Pat. On that play, they had like 9 guys on it. I mean, they're just like bees on honey. Just watch the play, and after the play starts, you see the draw. Now, it looks like it's going to be there. But watch them collapse on it, and watch as they start to make the tackle. Watch all those black jerseys coming in. I'll tell you, they try and get every helmet to the football.
And most of the time, they're successful. 48 yards for Butler. 20 far enough. And good. And we have a 1-point game. The Saints 7. The Bears 6. Remember, the Bears were the last team to defeat New Orleans in the playoffs last year.
I'll tell you, 7-6. I know fans like a lot of scoring, but this is a great football game. I mean, this is 2 coaches that are top of the game. This is 2 defenses that are super. These are 2 guys that are really going out, competing, and going after each other. You usually don't have this type of intensity until you get to games like playoffs and championship and Super Bowl.
Bears took 8 plays, went 30 yards, 48-yard field goal by Kevin Butler, and it's 7-6. coming up at the half. The NFL Today, the halftime report. Greg and Terry with scores and highlights. Mike Ditka. He does look very calm.
Yeah. Well, he's patting his quarterback on the head, and the thing he's really bringing his guys on. This is a well-coached game. This is a good fundamental game. You're not seeing a lot of missed tackles in today's game. I think that's one thing that is hurting the NFL. The NFL has too many missed tackles. It's a lost art, but it's not a lost art in this game today. That ball's going to get a ride in a minute.
From Kevin Butler. He and Morton Anderson were sort of having a kicking contest before the game began. They weren't looking at each other, but they were seeing who could get it the deepest. This one's to Gene Atkins. Atkins taken out of bounds at the 30. A return of 27, Mark Green. Took him out.
You don't see many guys, Pat, that just have one single bar on their face mask getting in on tackles. Kevin Butler not only got in on that tackle, he stuck his head in there.
That's why they call him Butthead.
I know it. I think we got to start looking for some all Madden players, and when a kicker will come like that with a single bar, because you have a lot of nose and a lot of face and a lot of eyes in there, and you'll stick that head in there, you may have to consider the guy. Watch this. Well, he's not just pushing or anything. He's sticking that head in there. Boom! Cha-ching, I think. At the kicker.
Bear fumbles the snap. .55 seconds left to play in the first half. 7-6 the Saints. A loss of 4 on that down. No huddle. Let's hurry. Floyd Turner to the 35. A gain of 9. Mangum made the stop. And the clock continues to run. Bear has all of his timeouts left. Going to go in a hurry. And a flag on the play. That'll stop it. Turner, the intended receiver.
I'll tell you, when they go a pass play, there are bodies lying on every end. Where the passer threw it, there's a whole bunch of bodies there, and the guy they threw it to, there's a whole bunch of bodies there.
Offside Bears.
That could have been on Richard Dent, because he looked from up here like he got a good jump on it.
Offside. Defense, number 95. 5-yard penalty.
That was Richard Dent. Watch him here on the near side. See him standing up. You see, he starts to lay right there. He was in the neutral zone. He crossed that. That was just a click of the thing. There's between getting off on the ball very quickly and being offside, there's a very fine line.
I think he leaned offside. 1st and 10. They're out of the spread again. By Mangum. A gain of 4.
That's what I was talking about. The guy that throws it, when he throws it, there's a pile there, and there's a pile on the other end where they throw it too.
17 seconds left first half. Second down. Pat Summerall, John Madden. 7-6. The Saints lead by 1.
Yeah, we're watching this last play. Every time Hebert throws the ball, he's getting knocked down. See, I mean, he throws the ball, but there's a pile where he threw it. And if you look at the other end, there's a real collision there, too. Bobby Hebert is a tough guy, but I'll tell you, he has really been taking some hits. And they're just trying to get the ball in position so that this guy can get a kick in before halftime.
You need 6 for a first. You need about 20 to get Anderson in range. Hebert hit just as he let it go. Almost an interception by Gant.
both these defenses are getting after it today. I mean, Hebert's back there. Look at that. Roper comes in, number 55. He's a pass rusher on the other side. He comes in and hits the ball just as Hebert throws it. Richard Dent wasn't getting a good pass rush, but he was in position to get the interception. They are really going after Hebert.
And it looked like one of the Rockettes. 3rd and 6. Pass is complete to Eric Martin. Stopped by Carrier. 6 seconds left. The Saints use a timeout.
The Saints have a timeout, but with 6 seconds, I don't think they have time for 2 plays. I mean, ideally what they'd like to do is complete another pass, call timeout, and let Morton Anderson kick a field goal. But I don't think they can do all that in 6 seconds.
If he had to try from here, it would be about 60 yards.
Good job, John L.
Coverage. There was no one open for Hebert to throw to. They're bringing Morton Anderson in. They're going to try the cannon.
It'll be from 60. Remember, it was in New Orleans, not in this stadium, at Tulane Stadium when Tom Dempsey set the record of 63 yards. No one thought he had a chance that day.
All kickers say that this is a fun one, and you would know because no one expects him to make it, but you can just let out all the hose.
Going to take all the hose. That's far enough. Good.
Are kind of that way too. This isn't a real offensive machine we're seeing here. These are 2 good teams that are based on the kicking game, the defense, and then the offense is the 3rd thing. And that's exactly what we see as we watch Morton Anderson tee up the ball here. We're watching the best kicker in the NFL. And it may boil down to that. It may boil down to just those 2 things. Forget the offenses. It may boil down to defenses and these 2 kickers.
What a weapon he is. This is going to be Bailey at the 1. Tripped up, flies out to about the 24.
I wonder when you kick a 60-yarder, you can only do it at the end of a game or the end of the half now because if you miss it, the ball comes back to the original line of scrimmage, so no one would try it in a game. But you wonder, when you have that much adrenaline to kick a 60-yarder, how long that adrenaline stays in you.
And that ball he kicked for 60 would have been good from 65 at least. Pat Swilling encouraging the crowd to get back involved. The Bears quieted down after that early series. 10-6 Saints going for their 10th straight regular season victory. Harbaugh behind the intended receiver as Swilling was all over him again. Wendell Davis was his target.
Yeah, one of the reasons, if we look here, one of the reasons that the Bears have to throw is that the Saints are playing with 8 men here. See, they're bringing their safety up, so they have 8 men in this box. Now, you cannot run against 8 men. You have to throw. So they're looking at that. The Saints are just taking away their run. They're putting that safety up there like another linebacker, just playing them with 3 deep, and you have to throw against that.
Second down, they give it a Mustard. Gain of perhaps 8, stopped by Mills and Cook.
And Swilling is not only big, but he's a strong guy, but the biggest thing he has is the speed and quickness. I mean, there aren't a lot of linebackers that can take an angle like that and catch a ball carrier when he goes in the middle, catch him from behind. Pat Swilling may be one of the few linebackers that can do it. I was going to say he may be the only, but there's some other guys that can do it.
Might be a couple. Might be a couple, but that would be all. You're right. 3rd and 2. Bears go with their spread formation, and Swilling gets Harbaugh from behind.
Swilling is just too quick. There's a cha-ching, but that was just a speed move. Just watch how quick he is. He's just going to run right around Wojciechowski. See, and there was no moves or anything. They have moves. They have power. Pat Swilling says he takes whatever they give him that time. They just gave him a corner, and he just took it with speed.
Nothing premeditated, he says, about a move, or as you say, just speed. At about the 32. Stopped by Morrissey. Well, somebody had to think a while for that.
Yeah, there was another one of those 50-yard punts. I think when you add up a game, I don't know that I've ever remembered a game where the kickers, the whole bunch of kickers, including both kickers and the kickoff and the field goals and the punters, have been as good as they have been thus far in this game, including this guy's 60-yarder, of course.
First down, Hebert, still the quarterback. Alvin Hilliard is the lone back behind him. Handoff to Hilliard, who's hit by McMichael. Lucky to hang on to the handoff. A loss of 4.
Well, Chris Port was trying to block him, but you just watch. He just gets too much penetration. You just watch right here. You see the penetration he gets. He takes an inside move, and then he gets a penetration, and Dalton Hilliard doesn't have a chance.
New Orleans offense, they've picked up a yard now after that play all day, rushing. Hebert to throw it. Across to Wesley Carroll. Carroll is close to a first down. Beg your pardon, it was Floyd Turner. Again, same pattern.
That was the same pattern they made the touchdown on. Roper was back that time. John Roper was in position, but Turner was just coming across too quickly, and he made Roper miss. But Bobby Hebert can throw that slant pass and that crossing pattern as well as anyone, because he has that ball cocked up there, always ready to go, and the minute the guy hits an open gap, boom, he delivers it.
First and 10, Saints at their own 43. Hebert gets to Hilliard. He's hit behind by Perry. Fumble. And the Bears have it.
That's the second big play by a tackle. We had McMichael's play. This play is Fridge's play. You watch him. He's gonna get the penetration here. Watch him. He just comes off the block right there, puts that big shoulder on Hilliard. Hilliard, in trying to escape from the Fridge's block, he just brings the ball out, and it just falls right out of there.
A recovery by Stinson. For the Bears. Harbaugh back to throw it. He was hit just as he let it go by Ricky Jackson.
I'll tell you, they haven't blocked those two Saint linebackers. If they get Swilling blocked, Jackson makes the play. If they get Jackson blocked, Swilling makes the play. Watch him up here. Here's Jackson up here on top, 57. He's just going to go right again on a speed rush right by Van Horn, and he gets his left hand and arm on Harbaugh just as he throws it. Again, a speed rush. These linebackers are usually mostly speed rushes today.
And these are two of the best. 2nd and 10. Green in motion. Here they come again. And Harbaugh is down again. This time by James Williams.
James Williams was the inside linebacker that's taken Vaughn Johnson's place. But watch the pressure. They get the outside pressure. Boom, you see again, here comes the bookends. Now watch, Williams comes in right there when he steps up. Harbaugh saw Williams. He just put that ball away and said to heck with it.
A loss of 6. Harbaugh has been running for his life. This time he has time and he has a man. Incomplete, but there's got to be a flag, and there comes several.
That's the way to get it, because Harbaugh had time. He just threw this one up, but he had protection. You see Waddle out there, you don't expect him to go deep. So he gives that little out, and that's what got Vince Buck. Then Buck had to catch up, and then he interfered right there.
And then the ball was a little bit underthrown.
Yeah, and then Vince Buck was trying to catch up with Waddle. Had Buck not gone for that out fake, he would have been right there. But because he went for the out fake of Waddle, then he had to catch up, and he couldn't look for the ball. Because if he would have been looking for the ball, then it wouldn't have been pass interference.
It brings up 1st and goal at the 9, and again Swilling says to the crowd, you guys get involved too. Harbaugh back to throw it, and again he's being chased by the Saints. And out of bounds at the 6 by Mills. We got 3.
Well, that's that same bootleg play that Harbaugh ran on in the first half. He fakes to the backs going one way. See, the backs will go to the right. See the fullback go to the right. Then he comes out here to the left. He's looking for a receiver, looking. Now he knows he doesn't have a receiver, and he decides to become a runner and get as much as he can. You know, no one has made it to the goal line yet, you know, which is a 3-yard line yet all year against the Saints.
They have not given up a rushing touchdown. They have now Brad Muster from 6 yards out.
The running game and patience pays off for Mike Ditka. Ditka looked like he was just telling Greg Landry that. Of course, the turnover helped. William Perry had a big play. The penalty helped. Waddle made a good move. And, of course, Muster makes the run. See, Ditka's saying, look, I told you we can run on these guys. We can run all day.
Evan Butler will try the extra point. The Bears lead 12-10.
And it's getting warmer down there in the sideline in this second half.
That's one of the things that everyone said the Saints hadn't done. Turn it over, and it haunted them.
The play is being reviewed.
Watch this run here. They're going to review it
To 18 seconds,
to see if he was in or not. The ball breaks the plane. His knee wasn't down.
He was in.
Let's just look at it right here in the clicker.
Review. Play stands as called on the field.
Okay,
Touchdown.
They said it stands as called, so we'll just watch it here at the end. And you'll see Muster put it right across here. The knee's not down. The ball breaks the plane. Now it's over. They didn't even need the clicker before they said it was a touchdown anyway already.
Nope. Butler to make it 13-10 Bears. And done. So with 10:28 left to play in the 3rd quarter, the Bears lead the Saints 13-10. Pitchers tonight: John Smoltz for Atlanta, Jack Morris for Minnesota. Not only have the teams done a great job, so has our crew.
Yeah, Kirby Puckett, the way he was coming off there, he could block the refrigerator William Perry with that type of emotion. He was so fired up, he could block Perry, dent, and cover on special teams. These are the tough guys, the guys that have to run down on these kickoffs. There's where you get some real collisions.
Butler will kick it off. It'll be handled by Early. To about the 27. A soggy day in New Orleans, but not inside the Louisiana Superdome. For the match between the Chicago Bears and New Orleans Saints, unbeaten until now. The Bears lead 13-10. At Summerall with John Madden before a sellout crowd. They talk about noise in Minnesota for the World Series. There's noise here, too.
You know, the interesting thing, though, on Brad Muster's touchdown, that 5-yard run, the crowd was not noisy then. They really let the Bears get away with one as they got down there in the 5-yard line, and the Bears ran the play they wanted to, the way they wanted to.
Kennedy in motion this time. Jordan behind Hebert. Donnell Wolford after a gain of 6.
Yeah, the thing about this Bear defense, they don't have any guests. They're all tacklers. Watch Wolford here. He's playing zone. He sees the ball. He reads it. Now he has to come up. They're going to catch some on a zone, but don't let them gain anything after they catch the ball. That was a perfect tackle.
2nd and 4. This time split out wide to the right. Tight end in motion. The pass is caught by John Tice. Caught by Sean Gale, but a gain of 20.
Good protection for Bobby Hebert. The thing you have to do is you have to have protection in the middle of the line. You see that middle, the 2 guards, the center, they do a nice job. Hebert can step up, and then he really stuck it in that hole. Watch this throw. That is what you call threading a needle. Mike Singletary, I don't think he saw that. I think he ran by it, and Hebert threw it right behind his left ear.
Kennedy now the lone setback. 3 wide receivers for the Saints. Carroll comes in motion. Hebert looks to Kennedy. Kennedy to the Bear 40. For a gain of 7. Morrissey and Gale.
Watch number 70, Chris Port. He'll make the trap right there. You see 70? He makes the block. He's a right guard. He pulled to the left, and that was a trap play, and Fennerty got right in behind him and cut right off that trap block.
2nd down and 3. They're to Bear 40. Bears lead by 3. Again, it's Fennerty. 1st down, Saints to the 35. He's an amazing guy. You were talking yesterday after we talked to him. He's one of those guys who has a feel for running.
Yeah, Gil Fennerty, you watch him, and you think of, Dalton Hilliard, he's hurt. Ironhead Hayward is hurt, and the whole thing goes on Gil Fennerty. And you just watch the guy play, and he catches the ball, he gets open, and when he runs, he has a feel for the hole. I mean, he had good movement there in the middle, but wherever that soft spot is, he's able to find it and get the ball to it.
1st and 10, Saints at the Bear 35. Hebert will throw. Incomplete on 1st down, no flags. That was close.
That was very close. Donnell Wolford looked like he got there a little too soon on that one. But of course, if they don't call it, he didn't get there too soon. The ball there, and he is there. Yeah, they replay the plays here in the stadium. You always get your players looking up. You watch the replays. Donnell Wolford, I don't think he was sure on that one himself until he saw the replay.
He put his hands up like, hey, I didn't do anything.
I think you have to let him do that.
Carroll was the man in motion. Here's Hebert. Incomplete. Intended for Carroll.
Yeah, you wonder here with such a good field goal kicker. And you just see Ironhead Hayward, I think, is just coming into the game for the first time. He's had a pulled hamstring, and they weren't even sure if he could play today. But you wonder if, when you have a Morton Anderson, if when you get to 3rd down and 10, if you don't become more conservative because you have Anderson.
I don't think there's any question, but that it does have an effect. Hayward is back with Hebert now as he goes in the shotgun. Bears come with a blitz. Hebert just barely does get rid of it. It's kicked off by the Bears. Sean Gale has it. Hebert was hit just as he let it go.
Well, that was Richard Dent. John Roper got there. That was just what I was talking about. They didn't become conservative. But Roper's coming from the left 55. Dent's coming on a stunt inside. See, there's Roper right there. He makes him put the ball down, and Dent comes up over the top. But it was the rush of number 55, John Roper.
So the Bears will take over. 6:50 left in the 3rd.
There's John Roper, and he's the guy who makes the play. Watch him. Roper comes right here. Boom, he comes from the outside. Dent is going to come up the middle. Roper again just does a speed rush, just like Jackson and Swilling were doing. They had a hold of him, and he just threw that ball away, and you never throw it away in the middle.
Ball play, Anderson. A couple of yards. Van Horn, who's had a bad left elbow, came out of that play holding it again. Thomas is now the left tackle for the Bears. Wojciechowski has just returned from the locker room.
You know, you look at that turnover thing and how big it is. The Bears' passing offense is -9. The Saints are 172, but the Bears are leading 13-10, and it's all because of those turnovers.
On 2nd down. Harbaugh to throw, rush by Jackson. Intended for Anthony Morgan, but he had no chance. They just can't get those guys blocked.
He's getting frustrated now because, as you say, they can't. This time, at the top of the screen, they just run around Van Horn, and every time Harbaugh looks up and tries to throw the ball, there's either 57 or 56. These 2 tackles can't block him. I think they got to give him some help. They got to get a back in there to chip at him, put a tight end in there to help it. You just can't let these 2 guys play against air all day.
3rd down. Well, they kept in some help. Pass picked off, intended for Waddle, picked off by Vince Buck. His 2nd interception of the day.
Of course, he was the guy that had the pass interference too, Pat. That's why he's so excited now, because it was against Waddle. Remember, Waddle gave him the out and up and got the pass interference. This time he's looking back all the way. He's looking at the ball all the way. He didn't even look at Waddle. He was playing a zone, so he was able to watch Harbaugh all the way.
All the New Orleans players point to that as being a reason for their success. Improved play at cornerback by Buck and Toy Cook. 5:54 left, 3rd quarter. 13-10 Bears. 13-10. The Bears lead. This is about as good as it gets defensively and kicking-wise, certainly.
You know, I don't know that I've ever seen this type of intensity in October. You know, you see this type of intensity in December and January, but these two defenses have not backed down. I mean, one comes in, boom, they go after him, then the other defense comes in, whap, then they go. It's been that kind of game the whole day, and these are going to be two tired, beat-up teams after this game. But this is what football is all about.
Saints ball 1st and 10 after the interception from their own 44. Ball deflected. Intended for Turner. And look.
If you look, the Bears have only allowed 20 yards rushing. The Saints have allowed 93. The Bears have allowed 172-yard passing. The Saints have only allowed -9. That's nothing. Turnovers forced again by good hard playing, 2 on each side. So that's been the thing. I mean, now the Saints just got that turnover thing balanced on 2 plays ago.
That's Chris Zorich in the middle of the Bear defense along with Perry now. McMichael gets a rest. On 2nd down, Hebert will throw. Gets it out to Wesley. Carroll will stop just shy of midfield by Gale. Special teams today. Well, Morton Anderson's 60-yard field goal in the last play of the first half tied the second longest in NFL history. Kevin Butler has 2 field goals. Buford has 4 Chicago punts, averaging 52.3 yards. It's a facet of football you forget about sometimes, but special teams are a big factor.
And especially for both of these teams. I mean, you know, that's one of the big reasons the Saints are undefeated. Their special team, and of course that defense is outstanding.
Hebert deep for Turner, who has it at the 20. Stopped by Wolford. The Bears blitzed again, and they got burned again.
Perfect throw by Bobby Hebert. Wolford was really there. He just threw it up over Wolford's shoulder. Watch Turner, number 88. There, he's the outside guy. He's looking, and see the motion takes him. Now they switch. Now they have to put a switch on him. So now Turner becomes inside. Wolford is running right there with him. You see the ball is outside Wolford's shoulder. That was a perfect pass.
Turner has 6 catches today. He scored the only Saint touchdown. Hilliard is the running back. But Hebert is going to put it up. Tripped up is Turner away. No gain.
Yeah, one thing, if they don't run those deep ones or they don't get those pass interference penalties, there has been very little rack in this game. Run after catch. Seems like every time a guy catches the ball, he goes down.
Buford Jordan started out and went back in. Now Hilliard comes out and Turner goes in.
Well, I think that they had a confusing thing over there, and Hebert was over there talking to the coaching staff, telling him who he wanted and what kind of play he wanted.
Turner comes back out early, a split wide left. Eric Martin is the other wide receiver. Hebert out of the pocket. Hebert inside the 10 and out of bounds at about the 9.
Showing a lot of guts today, Bobby Hebert. You know, when a quarterback runs, he has his eyes and he has his feet. He also has the football to help him run. You see what Hebert did by just making that little fake there? That holds the defense enough to let him get out of bounds.
8-yard gain by Hebert. 3rd and about 2. The ball's at the 9. Setback. Hebert gets it in the middle of Turner. Touchdown. second time that combination has clicked.
Good pass protection. That made it all possible. Hebert could find Turner, look at him, step up and throw it. Perfect pass protection by the middle of the Saints line.
Anderson's extra point gives the Saints a 4-point lead. 17-13 with 2:54 left in the third.
Let's look at the touchdown. Here's Floyd Turner. Now watch how he gets open. There's going to be a little pick going on in there. If we run the play, and we see right here's the pick. You see right here, this guy gets picked. That's going to free him up there. And now watch what happen. Now he catches the ball, and we go right here. Singletary misses the tackle on the 5-yard line. One of the first missed tackles. You had a lot of things there. You had good pass protection. You had a pick, a catch, a missed tackle, a touchdown.
Anderson's kickoff is deep. Fielded by Bailey about 8 yards deep into the end zone.
They had two groups love that. The special teams that have to cover, they love it when the kicker kicks in the end zone. The other group was the defense, because every good defense believes that no team can go 80 yards on it.
About half the time Anderson does that. Especially here.
I was going to say maybe half those times are all the games that he plays here in this dome. I think this place is made for a kicker. We looked at the kicking numbers today, and they're superb.
The Saints lead the Bears 17-13. Comes out of the pocket and will have to run again. Sam Mills with a 6-yard scramble by Harbaugh.
What the Bears are trying to do is do the opposite. They're trying to throw on first down, because that's when the Saints are really playing the run, and then they'll probably come back and try and run on second down.
2:17 left to play in the third quarter. Second down, they need about 3.5. Harbaugh will throw again. Intended for Thornton, incomplete. Sam Mills put some heat on Harbaugh. James Williams was the defender.
Yeah, you see Thornton going back there. He hasn't caught a pass today. He has a torn plantar's tendon. Mike Ditka said he had one of those when he was playing, and it's darn near impossible to run with it or to cut with it. You can see just the way Thornton's carrying himself that he's limping all the time.
3rd and 3.
Tough to play this game if you can't run and cut and you're a tight end.
Inside the pocket, intended for Green, incomplete. Brett Maxey was the defender closest to Green. And the Bears will have to punt.
And the defense is getting a standing ovation. These fans know football. They know who's winning this game. What pressure. Harbaugh's completed 4 passes, 2 to the Bears and 2 to the Saints. And you can't blame him for that. I'll tell you, he has not had a chance today.
He's just been running for his life sometimes and scrambling sometimes. It's Buck with a fair catch at the 37. 35-yard punt. 17-13, the Saints lead the Bears. Next Sunday, the NFL on CBS continues with doubleheader action. In the early game, most of you will see, John and I'll be in Chicago as the Bears host the Detroit Lions. The other early game games. The 49ers play Atlanta. Green Bay against the Jets. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers go up against the Minnesota Vikings. In the late games, the Saints travel to Los Angeles to play the Rams. The Dallas Cowboys host the Phoenix Cardinals. Check your local listings for the games in your area. It all starts at 12:30 Eastern Time with the NFL Today, the last word before kickoff. Atlanta rolling today.
It doesn't get any better than this one.
Nope. Flag on the play. He took a little too long. Peter Tom Willis loosening up for the Bears.
Like we said, Harbaugh has only completed 2 passes today. He's thrown 2 interceptions. But I don't know that you can blame him for that, because that pass rush has been something.
The clock, the play clock on one end of the field shows 3. See?
There is no delay of the game call.
Yeah, and that's the one he was looking at. He was looking at the one that said 3, and the other one said 0.
Back on the play clock. 14 seconds.
No penalty, no delay. The official that made the call was looking at the one that ran out. Hebert, the quarterback, was looking at the one that still had 3 seconds left.
And the referee, Dick Hantak, was looking at the one that had 3 seconds. And he says the word they use for that is a new football term. It's unsynchronized.
I know what it means.
Here's Bobby Hebert. He's looking, then he looks behind him, then he points. That one says 3. Maybe Hebert pointed it. It was unsynchronized, he said.
After the whistle, the play clock will begin with my signal, not on the whistle. I will signal the play clock to start.
Dick Hantak says, wait a minute, I run this show. It'll start with my whistle. They both have 13 seconds on them now. So Hebert will have time with no penalty. He got on with it. Pass deflected.
Yeah, that was Steve McMichael. He just got in there and he got good penetration, got that left hand up, knocked it down. Remember, that's a quarterback's responsibility to find a passing lane. Hebert was looking for a passing lane and he found McMichael's left hand.
That makes it 2nd and 10. The ball at the Saints 38. They lead 17-13. A minute 41 left, 3rd quarter. Finnerty behind Hebert. And he gets the handoff. Hit by James Williams. 2-yard gain.
Joel Hilgenberg, he's the center. He has to block the fridge. Williams is going to make the tackle, but he does a pretty good job. You see 61, he gets in and he gets him turned. That's the only chance you have. Get him turned and hold him a little and keep him away from the hole. Now, the guy makes the tackle is number 71, Williams. Watch him. You get your hands on the guy and you just hold him and wait for the ball to come to you.
3rd and 8. Saints, and the Bears have it. Bears have it. Carrier made the recovery. 3rd turnover by the Saints. Eric Martin got the pass from Hebert, but couldn't handle it.
Bobby Hebert is waiting for that play to be rerun so he can watch it up there. You know, again, it's a 3rd turnover from the Saints. Both of these defenses have caused the turnover. This is about as physical and as a hitting a game as you can get.
Harbaugh, still the quarterback. Brad Muster. Good yardage. for the fullback.
Look at that. Mark Carrier, after the interception, is a Chicago Bear fan down there. Mark Carrier got the ball and took it over and gave it to him. You know, they talk about celebrations and doing things that are right and wrong, and I think most of the time players do things that are right.
They might have a play before the end of the quarter. Perry, Anderson. Not enough for the first. That's the end of the third quarter with the score. The Saints 17, the Bears 13. Our coverage will continue after this message from your local station. You are watching the NFL on CBS. At the Superdome in New Orleans, the Saints and the Bears. The Bears just getting a turnover, have it 3rd and 1. 17-13. The Saints leading the Bears. Saints, of course, unbeaten. The Bears 5-2 and trying to stay tied with the Lions for first place in the NFC Central. They play Dallas later. 3rd and short. Muster and Anderson behind Harbaugh. Muster first down and more to the Saint 35. After 3 quarters, here is the statistical picture. Defense, yes. Both teams have gotten 7 points off turnovers. The Saints have 3, the Bears 2. Passing yards, a big difference. The Bears have been able to run a little bit. The Saints haven't. His way for sure 3. Ronaldo Turnbull made the stop.
You know, you watch Anderson run in there and you know what they're up against. You look in the 4th quarter, the Saints have outscored their opponents 47-7, but I don't know that they've played against a team like the Chicago Bears. I mean, the Chicago Bears, as Mike Ditka said last night, he said, if they're tough, okay, just tell us what the terms are, and we'll come down and get in a fight with them. Just tell us the rules. And they knew the rules, and I think both teams know they're in a fight today.
They want to play tough, we'll play tough. Harbaugh to throw it. Swilling is close by. Fulton, the intended receiver. And he is clobbered. Atkins.
Never seen so many collisions at both ends of a forward pass as we have today all day. You watch the quarterback, watch what happens, watch when Jackson hits him here. They're just knocking him every way but loose, and then on the other end, you just watch what happens to the receiver, and this has been happening all day.
It makes you not want to be a receiver. 13:21 left in the game. We're in the 4th quarter, 13:21 left. The Saints leading the Bears 17-13. Harbaugh has had a long day, but you certainly can't blame him. 2 out of 17, and he's been under the heat all day long, and so have his receivers. 3rd and 8. Back to throw is Harbaugh. They're trying to set up a screen, and the Saints, Sam Mills was right in the middle of it.
They call Sam Mills the field mouse. You know, he's the guy who's only 5'9", 5'10". And it was interesting, Vince Tobin is the defensive coordinator of the Bears. He had Sam Mills in the USFL. They were trying to cut him. Vince Tobin says if you cut him, you have to cut all the rest of the linebackers because he's the best one we got. Now he's playing against them today.
Been a start calling him the Dome Demon instead of the Field Mouse. 51 yards for Butler. No good. Far enough, but wide. And so the Saint lead remains 4.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by Honda, who puts a driver's airbag on every new Accord, Civic, and Prelude and urges you to buckle up. Arid XX antiperspirant helps keep you extra, extra dry. And by Miller Lite, it's it, and that's that.
At Summerall, John Madden, 13 minutes, 10 seconds left to play with the Saints leading the Bears 17-13. Saints going for 10 in a row in regular season. The Bears, the last team to beat them last year in the playoffs. One of 2 unbeaten teams, New Orleans. Washington, of course, the other, and they play tonight. A Bear chased by McMichael. Dumped it out to Buford Jordan. Who had a tough 2 yards.
Again, we talk about the defense. That was Steve McMichael there because he's the guy that fleshed Hebert out. He got penetration up the middle, and Hebert had to get off the receiver he was going to and go to the short guy, so they only got a 2-yard gain. That was Steve McMichael's play there. There's Vince Tobin. Maybe the reason that Sam Mills is in this league.
2nd and 8.
See Joel Hilgenberg there, number 61. He was pushing against Perry. William Perry had a little push. In fact, Hilgenberg blocked him pretty well. You know, they watch films of each other. And if you just watch Hilgenberg here in the center, you see him block Perry to the left right there. He pushes him out. He gets a pretty good block on him right there. And then he still blocks him, so Perry comes back. After they watch the film, Jay Hilgenberg asked the refrigerator, Perry said, "How's my brother look?" The refrigerator said, "A little."
3rd and 5. Hebert just barely. Simon has Turner. Hebert holding his arm.
Hebert is playing the whole game today on guts. He told us yesterday he knew that he had pain. He just has to play through the pain and hope that he has the strength. But again, that was John Roper with a chop there, and it looks like every time they hit him, they're hitting him on that right shoulder.
What a game Floyd Turner's had.
Turner's going to put himself in the Pro Bowl with just this game. That'd be Hebert's like playing catch with Floyd Turner.
They went to the same college. That's Dalton Hilliard. Inside the Bear 40, stopped by Singletary after he got 3 yards. Here's Steve Walsh.
I think they're watching Hebert pretty closely now because they're realizing that they got him into that 4th quarter, and he's taken quite a few hits on that right shoulder. They want Walsh to be ready in case one of those hits can't go on.
He even grimaced yesterday when we asked him about it.
Yeah, he was doing all this stuff. You know, you talk with your hands. He kept that right arm close to his body and was talking just with his left hand.
2nd down. Hilliard again. Dalton to about the 35, stopped by Perry. He got 5.
Good courier makes that play. Watch the push that the offensive linemen get here. They just kind of zone block and they get things going off the line of scrimmage. That gives Hilliard the hole. Mark Carrier came up from the safety position to make that tackle.
3rd and 2.
You know, as Jim Dombrowski said yesterday, all an offensive lineman can do is get your back through the hole. After that, it's up to him.
You can hope. Notice how the Hilgenbergs, hold the ball the same way before they snap it. Right on the point. Down goes Hebert by Roper. A loss of 7.
Roper's been watching Ricky Jackson come from that side. Watch him. He's up here. He's against Brock. And again, he's just going to take that speed rush. See him go to the outside? He just runs right around Brock and into Hebert.
And the Saints will punt. Not try a field goal. This would only be about 59 yards for Anderson if they did try a field goal, but they'll punt instead. As you said, it has to be done on the last play of the game or the last play before the half. They'll bring it back to the 20. Benny Thompson almost caught it before it went into the end zone. Bears will take over at the 20. What is Prozac? And why does it drive the Church of Scientology up the wall? It's an antidepressant that millions swear by. Should they? 60 minutes tonight. And then it's Game 7 of the World Series starting at 8 o'clock Eastern with Baseball 91. John Smoltz will try to lead the Braves to their first victory in the Metrodome. The Twins will give the ball to Jack Morris in hopes of repeating their 1987 feat. That's tonight on CBS. Anderson. He gets to about the 26 for a gain of 7, stopped by Toy Cook. That's the last punt. Almost down by the Saints.
Anytime something bad happens and you're an aggressive type player, you want to hit something. Sometimes it's the ground, sometimes it's yourself, sometimes it's the other guy.
2nd and 4. That's Anderson again. Stopped by James Williams, but Anderson close to a first down.
You know, Mike Dicker was saying last night that he thinks that you have to run more in this game, and he thinks you have to run more against the Saints. And he said, if I had my way, if I'm calling the plays, we'd run more. He said, we have some good plays. But another interesting thing that he goes back and looks at some old playbooks from George Halas, from when George Halas
was
coaching, and he said, you look at those old playbooks that George Halas had, he said you'd see that those were pretty good plays, and the same thing we're doing now. Things haven't changed.
Very similar. Keith Jennings was the move man. Flag on the play.
False start on the quarterback. Came out prior to the snap. 5-yard penalty. Repeats it. Still the first down.
See, the quarterback, when he gets his hands up underneath there, he can't leave either before the ball snaps. See, he leaves. See, the ball hasn't been snapped. So the guy who moved was the quarterback. He brought his hands out from once he gets his hands up there, he has to keep them up in there until he gets the ball.
1st and 15. Hebert continues to throw in front of the Saint bench. The give is to Muster. Muster picks up 9. They need 6 more for a first down.
You can see that it's still hurting Bobby Hebert to throw. Every time you can just see his lips get tight every time he throws the ball. But he doesn't want it to get tight. See, if he ever stops throwing, I'm sure the whole thing will just tighten up on him. Watch him grimace when he throws.
Until it hurts. 2nd and 6. 17-13 Saints. With just over 6 minutes left to play. This is Anderson. 1 yard perhaps. Brings up 3rd and 5. Less Miller made the stop.
This is a tough one. Now they have to throw. Now they have to pass protect. The big thing, we see the signal being signal in. The big thing really isn't the pass pattern that they're having problems with, but can they get the pass protection for Harbaugh to get rid of the ball?
Now the Saints have 6 defensive backs, but they leave Swilling and Jackson in. And now a little bit of confusion on the part of the Bears, I believe.
Well, the Bears only had 10 men in there. And then we just saw at the end where Anthony Morgan, number 81, came running in. That gave him the 11th.
And so they use a timeout. Five and a half minutes left here. 6 minutes left, San Francisco and Philadelphia.
Look at Mike Ditka there. He was yelling at him. Poor Greg Landry, he's trying to keep everything under control. Harbaugh comes over and Ditka was yelling at him. But it's hard to play if you only have 10 men in there. And I'm sure the way he's talking to Landry and not talking to Ditka, that this is a passing play. I think if Ditka calls, it's going to be a running play. If it's a passing play, Ditka just turns his back on it. He just walks away. But again, I say on this, pass protection is a big thing.
They have 2 down linemen. Well, now Swilling gets down. The 2 in the middle are down. They come from the outside. He and Jackson. Harbaugh incomplete to Wendell Davis. Hit by Toy Cook. Buford back into punt again. Vince Buck goes back deep for the Saints.
This is about as dominating a pass defense as I can remember since the 1985 Bears.
I think you're right. They won the Super Bowl. Good kick. Buck handles it. He took a chance out to the 21, where the Saints will take over. Johnny Bailey.
This is what happens when you're the outside guy. You're always going to get doubled. Sometime right on the line. Sometimes that guy waits downfield for you. So you have to run by one or run over one and then beat the guy that you ran by the first time to get down there.
You know he's going to be back.
And you finally get down there, you just want to get in on the tackle because you had to go through so much to get there.
Today's game was produced by Robert D. Stinner and directed by Sandy Grossman. NFL Today produced by Eric Mann, directed by Duke Strutz, senior producer Ed Gorin, executive producer of the NFL on CBS, Ted Shaker. Hebert gives to Hilliard. Buford Jordan this time. 2 yards.
Yeah, if you look at the Saints compared to some of the top defenses of the past, you see that so far since 1950, these are the defenses, and they've only allowed 8.6 points per game.
That's dominating. Dalvin Hilliard this time the lone setback. To throw. Chased by McMichael. He had a screen call. It still didn't work. The right play, but the Bears had a perfect defense. Singletary broke it up.
You know, the guy that's been really playing well for the Bears is McMichael, because if the protection is broken down, it seems like he's the guy that's broken through most of the time. Boom! You know, right up that middle. Of course, Matt, every time you break up the middle, that'll flush the quarterback out.
And whatever pattern you have called will fall apart in a hurry. 3rd and 9.
This is where Richard Dent usually comes up with a big pass rush in this situation.
Hebert. It's the pass out complete, and that's close to a down to Floyd Turner.
First of all, it starts with good pass protection. They do a nice job on Dent. Cooper just runs him right by Hebert so he can step up. And watch Turner out here. He knows he has to go 9 yards for the first down. Watch him. He's right there. And how he zipped that ball in there, Hebert, I have no idea. But Turner knew where he had to go. Then after he caught it, he knew where he had to go to get the first.
What a day he's had. Well, I think it goes back to what you said when you were talking about the pass protection. He had an opportunity to step up in there. Turner goes in motion. To Hilliard. Gets away from one man in the backfield, but doesn't get much more. Ryan made the stop. 2:40 left to play. Saints leading 17-13.
Well, you can see how the Saints got their first downs. They haven't done much at all with the running game. They've got 10 by pass, 1 by penalty. Of course, that was the big one, and then a 1 by running. So neither one of these teams have been able to make a living running today. And again, I think that's the defensive.
This is a Bear timeout. They have 1 left. This game is presented by authority of the National Football League. And this CBS telecast is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of CBS, the New Orleans Saints, and the National Football League is prohibited.
Look at that, Pat. Mike Ditka has just called the whole defense over to the sideline. First of all, just 1 to 2 guys, and then he kept motioning the whole thing over.
Vince Tobin right in the middle of that meeting.
The meeting that was called by Mike Ditka. He wanted to say something. I don't know. He was going to get a word or two in. That's all he got in. He got a word or two in, and then he walked away from it. But it was Mike Ditka that called that meeting.
And if he calls a meeting, you attend.
I want to talk to those guys in a minute. You know, you play all day. I mean, they've been playing like heck. 17-13, 2 minutes, 36 seconds to go. You know, you play all day. Now it all boils down to this.
2nd and 9. Hebert to Hilliard. Hilliard to the 40. Not enough for a first down, but an 8-yard pickup stopped by McMichael. The Bears take their last timeout. They'll get another one at the 2-minute warning.
This is good blocking here. Hilliard really has strong legs. He really has strong legs. I mean, just watch when he hits the hole and he breaks through and those legs start to drive. All his power is down below his waist. In fact, Gil Finnerty was telling us yesterday that Hilliard in a meeting yesterday just told him that he had leg lifted or squatted 800 pounds.
In college.
Yeah, now I had never heard of anyone squatting 8. That had to be in some kind of machine. But to say that he doesn't have strong legs, I wouldn't argue with that either.
Next Sunday, the NFL on CBS continues with doubleheader action. In the early games, most of you will see John and I will be in Chicago. These Bears host the Detroit Lions. In the other early games, the 49ers play Atlanta Falcons. Green Bay takes on the Jets. Tampa Bay Buccaneers against Minnesota. Late games, the Saints travel to Los Angeles to play the Rams. The Cowboys host the Phoenix Cardinals. Check your local listing for the game of your area. 3rd down. Hilliard won't get it.
That was a big play. If the Saints get a first down there, the game could have been over. William Perry makes the play of the game for the Bears. Right there, just watch him. He's right here. The ball's going to be run here. Watch him come and make that play. He knows you have to stay low. You have to penetrate. He goes over some guy. Once he gets Hilliard, no matter how strong he is, he's not going any farther.
How much did you say he lifted?
800 pounds.
The 2-minute warning. back deep for the Bears. 2 minutes to go. Bears out of timeout. 17-13. The Saints lead it. Barnhart, the punter.
Well, like you said, Pat, the Bears are out of timeouts, but that play by Perry at least got him the ball back.
They're trying to set up a return. This is a bad punt. The only one of the day, I think, by either punter.
And there's the guy who made it all possible. There's a fired-up Fridge. He made that play that stopped him. We've had one bad kick that came at that play, and that put the Bears back in this one.
That's one thing you don't want to do is get a Fridge fired up. The Bears take over after only a 12-yard punt. The Bears will take over at their own 48-yard line.
Of course, that's great field position, and with a minute 54 seconds, that's plenty of time, even though you don't have any timeouts. When you go back to that field goal that Butler missed, if all they needed was a field goal, it would be a totally different game.
Here's Harbaugh. He's got a man. Wendell Davis to the Saint 25. A gain of 27, stopped by Vincey Glenn. And the Bears hurry up.
I don't think they have to go too much hurry up because they know they have to score a touchdown, but you'd like to score it right at the end of the game where you don't give the other team any time to score.
The handoff is to Anderson, I'm sorry. He gets down inside the 20. A gain of 8, stopped again by Glenn.
You just knew that when Anderson dressed today, you knew he was going to play. Even though he didn't start, and you knew if he was going to play at all, it's going to be at this time of the game.
The Bears in a hurry again. Harbaugh to throw it. Has his pass complete to Anderson. He gets out of bounds and stops the clock at the 13. Gene Atkins took him out of bounds after a gain of 5.
Now again, I think the Bears can take their time. They don't want to rush anything. They don't want to force anything because they have 4 downs. They need a touchdown. They got a first here. They have 4 downs. They don't want to rush. They don't want to force. And, of course, the Saints, they want to get a turnover. They got to knock the ball out of there.
59 seconds left. The crowd is loud again. Harbaugh back to throw it. Touchdown Bears to Waddle. Seconds left. The Saints timeout situation when they get the ball back is they have all 3. But they're going to need to get into field goal range at least. The Bears lead at 19-17.
Harbaugh hung in there. He found Waddle. But again, I go back to the guy who made it all possible was William Perry. If he doesn't make that play, if the Saints get a first down, then the game is over. The Bears wouldn't have had any timeouts left. Perry makes the play. They get the ball back, then they go. Harbaugh hangs in there, throws a couple of good passes, and they go ahead. And that guy right here in the middle, see him right there, 72, I say he made it all possible.
The Bears took just 4 plays in a minute. They go 52 yards.
I think they're reviewing that play, Pat. Waddle got across.
Well, let's have another look ourselves. I don't know why they're reviewing this.
Well, you know, the ball did come out. There's a point there where Waddle fumbled the ball, but I think it was after he was inside. You know, he had a break the plane. Now it's a touchdown.
Play stands is called.
So whatever happens, you see the ball came out right there.
Yeah.
See, the ball came out. But there was nothing to review. That was a touchdown. There's a little competitor.
Harbaugh will hold for Butler. it is good.
I'll tell you, sometimes everyone talks about the refrigerator and they forget how good a player he is. This is a heck of a football play. He just got his hands on the guy, went over him, got into play, stopped Hilliard for the first down, and that made the rest of it possible.
Harbaugh, until that drive, was 3 out of 19 for 16 yards. On that drive, that put the Bears back ahead, he was 3 of 3, and the touchdown pass to Waddle. But don't forget about this guy. Don't forget about the Saints. All they have to do is get him close to midfield.
And I think he's starting to get that adrenaline going. Just before the half, we remembered he kicked a 60-yarder. He's starting to tighten that belt. The special teams need now. They need a good return to get some field possession for Hebert. Then Hebert has to get the ball in position for Morton Anderson.
54 seconds left on the clock. The Bears 20, the Saints 17. Evan Butler will kick off.
And if old Butthead ever hit one, he wants to hit one now.
He doesn't want to make any tackles close to midfield. I know that.
He doesn't want to let it up there short. He doesn't want to line drive it where a guy can get it.
Back deep for the Saints, and Butler to kick it off. Atkins is 28. And it will be Atkins at about the 3. Penalty on the play as Bailey was down in a hurry. Blocking him, I think, clipped him.
Yeah, there's a valuable player, Bailey, too. He made that play on that punt coverage that we saw. Then he makes his play on the kickoff coverage, and the penalty is going to be against the Saints.
On the return, number 37, we will penalize 1/2 the distance, first down.
Benny Thompson.
I don't know. It's right there. I don't know that there's a penalty there. It looked like he just tripped. The officials don't see the whole play. The Saints have their work cut out. I know if you're in this situation, you have the kicker, Morton Anderson, you would like to have, but they got to go a long way before Morton Anderson comes into play.
They're on their own 7-yard line, 49 seconds left to play, and they have all 3 timeouts. Hebert is in the shotgun. Did get rid of it to Early. Early gets out of bounds, stops the clock at about the 13 or 14, a gain of 6. Roper again put the heat on Hebert. 40 seconds left. 40 seconds to go at the Superdome in New Orleans, where the Bears lead the Saints by 3. Morton Anderson, who had hit on the last play of the first half, a 60-yard field goal, staying loose and ready.
The Saints have to get Roper and Dent blocked here.
Hebert has time and has a completion out of bounds. Wesley Carroll gets out of bounds, stopped the clock, first down. They gained 13 yards, 34 seconds left now.
And that shoulder is killing Hebert. I don't know how he gets this much mustard on the ball to throw an out down here the way he does. But look at that throw. That's a perfect throw, where either his guy's going to get it or no one is going to get it.
They've got to get it upfield. Although with 34 seconds and 3 timeouts left, they can do a lot.
Completed pass has been ruled on the field. We are having the play reviewed by instant replay.
Going to have another look.
That After further review, play stands is called. Complete pass, first down.
It was a short look.
I don't know. He didn't have 2 feet in there. If they reviewed that thing, they wouldn't have given it to him. They better get this ball snapped.
On first down, the play will stand. Dent on Hebert gets loose. Incomplete. Eric Martin was all alone. I don't know how Hebert got rid of the ball.
I don't know how he got loose, as you said, because McMichael was in there. Dent is in there. Watch Dent. Dent has him right there. He just rolls off him. Hilliard is making a block in there in the middle, so he had some blocking going on while those guys were penetrating. And Richard Dent just didn't wrap his arms around him.
29 seconds left now. The Bears lead it 20-17. A timeout, and they do. Went early. Took the pass from Hebert, stopped by Wolford. 21 seconds now left.
Again, you have a quarterback with a bad shoulder who looks like he's losing his velocity as the game goes on, although he threw that out pretty well, but they're going to have to get the ball down the field. I mean, they're going to have to start throwing 15-yard passes, 20-yard passes, instead of 5- or 6-yard passes. Because the Bears are a defense that are tackling well today. So you're not going to throw those short ones and then make good runs out of them.
They need to get, if 60 yards is realistic for Morton Anderson, they need to get to about the 43-yard line of the Bears. That would be a 60-yarder.
Well, you see where the ball's spotted here, and you would say that they have to get in here, and then they would have a shot at a real long one. I think for sure they got to get past this line. So they have to move from this line to this line, and then I think Morton Anderson is for sure.
Well, distance is not a problem, as he exhibited earlier in that 60-yarder, which had room at the end. To throw. Chase out of the pocket, and down he goes by McMichael. What a day he's had.
Well, it's fitting that he makes this play. He's been making plays against the pass all day today. He comes in a stunt. He goes to the outside. Hebert felt a little pressure in the middle, started to flush to that side, and there was Steve McMichael.
17 seconds left. This is the field goal we were talking about, the end of the first half, the last play, from 60 yards.
Yep, that was a rocket, but I'll tell you right now, they're going to need a rocket on the arm of Bobby Hebert. They're not worried about the leg of Morton Anderson right now because they're 4th down and real long. So you not only have to complete a pass, but you have to complete a 20-yard pass.
17 seconds on the game clock. 1 timeout remains. Atlanta beats the Rams.
But 1 play remains, too, because of the 4th down, if they don't complete a long one. And look at the Bear defense. They're playing that prevent. They're playing so loose that they're going to let them catch things in front of them, but not for the first down.
Hebert buying time, or trying to. Has the pass incomplete, intended for Carroll. 10 seconds left. The Bears lead by 3. And that's all she wrote.
The Bears hung in there. He made it all possible. He was gutsy. He said you had to be patient. He didn't get another chance.
He never got a shot. Give great credit to that Bear defense. William Perry, Steve McMichael, all the guys in the secondary.
Hey, I think on both sides, the effort on both these teams, the coaching staffs, the players, I don't think you can play a game any tougher or more intense than this football game was played today.
Tell you who else you have to give a lot of credit to is Jim Harbaugh. Bears will just run it out. He was having a terrible day because of the pressure by the Saints until the last drive.
Yep, and the Bears hung in there. He hung in there.